We looked around on the nets and magazines, talked to friends for recommendations. We did talk to a few other companies, and it came down to Jim and another company. But when we met with Jim, we really found that he was open and able to talk us through a really clear process. So we were really able to understand what we were getting into and what we'd get out at the end. Whereas with some of the other companies, it felt like a bit of a sales pitch. And I think with Jim, we were able to have a proper, realistic dialogue and understand what we were going to be getting. Working with Jim and Refresh has been really easy. So they have a very clear process, and I imagine it's a process they roll out to all their projects. But it was a very stepped through process where we worked out a quote. The quote was very open. When we had to take things in and out, Jim was very clear on why we needed to take things out, why we need to add things in. And when we had obviously need to talk about things that weren't necessarily going well on the build, because obviously all builds have their issues, we were able to communicate really clearly with Jim, and he was able to explain why things were happening the way they were, and we were able to work out a really good conclusion, and we came out with a great result at the end. Jim had a really good eye for detail, so my wife, who was also double project managing the build, is very finicky on the finishing details. And it was really good that Jim could see the benefit of having those details completed in that quality way as well. Working with professionals, we ended up with a certificate of completion that we can use with all the documentation done for the council. Our code of compliance was very easy to push through because Jim knew the things that needed to happen. So it was really appreciated by me, who has no understanding of how that process works. Working with Jim's easy. So we can ring and have a conversation. Sometimes things aren't going necessarily perfectly, and it was really easy to just raise those things with Jim. He would come across and see us in person rather than just dealing with us on the phone. Certainly in the lead up to the build, we had quite a few meetings with Jim where he was trying to work on our behalf to make things fit within our budget. We really appreciated that he understood our side of things rather than just trying to see it from Refresh or his own build side all the time. He was really trying to make the deal work for us and the build work for us and the family. I'd absolutely recommend Refresh. In fact, I've probably recommended Refresh to 3 or 4 other people already. And certainly people who have been watching the build happen that come up and down our street, I think have been in contact with Jim as well. And he's got some more business out of that. So yeah, I'd have no qualms about recommending Refresh to other people.